Mario.
Hey, this is Craig Harris. I'm the editor-in-chief of the IGN Nintendo DS channel. And so you basically went out and bought a Nintendo DS, and you're wondering what the best game of that system is, or you're trying to be convinced which games can be played on the Nintendo DS hardware. What's the point of the two screens? Well, Nintendo's answer to that is the launch title Super Mario 64 DS. And I have to say that it is a really good conversion of an 8-year-old game. In fact, the Nintendo DS version looks night and day better than the N64 version. Even though the Nintendo DS can't do texture filtering, the developers of the Nintendo DS version went in and actually upgraded the texture work of the N64 level designs, and you'll notice that there's a lot more changes in the way things look. The environments and the characters, they all look much better from a distance. When you actually get up close, they're a little more pixelated than what the N64 version is, because there is no texture filtering, and the N64 actually put that to use pretty well. But all in all, the Nintendo DS version of Mario 64 looks much better than the original game on the N64. So you have 4 playable characters. You have Yoshi, Mario, Luigi, and Wario. And each of the characters have their own special, unique abilities. Mario, Wario, and Luigi are essentially the same. They have the same moves, but they're tweaked ever so slightly to take advantage of each character's personality. Mario's the overall normal character. Luigi has a bit of a spazzy jump, and Wario is kind of the big lug. He can like punch things and take down walls and bigger boulders and stuff like that. And that actually comes into play in some of the levels. This game was made for a system that took advantage of analog control. The N64 was the first console that actually introduced out of the box an analog stick. So Nintendo created a game to get people to use it, and that was Super Mario 64, and it did it really well. The control was really done really well on the Nintendo 64. Now, it's kind of an odd thing that the launch title for the Nintendo DS is a port of a game that, focused on analog control, and the system itself doesn't have an analog stick. So you can play the game with the D-pad, using a button combination to run and walk, which does kind of get clunky. Or you can do what Nintendo programmed into the game and use the lower touchscreen as a virtual analog stick. It works. It doesn't work as well as it should, and I don't think it'll ever work, quite as nice as an analog stick. But it shows that at least Nintendo's addressing the issue of the lack of analog stick on the Nintendo DS. What Nintendo has added to the game are unlockable mini games that actually are made specifically for the Nintendo DS's 2 screens touchscreen. Actually, some of the mini games that Nintendo created for this game turn out really well, and it's actually encouragement to go through the adventure so you can unlock and see exactly what the designers have come up with for dual screen touchscreen. As it stands, Mario 64 is still a great game as a handheld game, and in fact it works really well for the handheld because it's such a pick up and play game. You pick up your system, get a star, save your game, turn it off for great for 5-minute bursts, and that's what the handheld market really kind of caters itself to. Mario 64 DS, great game. It's not the killer app. It's not going to sway you to the dual screen touchscreen side if you haven't been convinced already. But if you really wanted the Nintendo DS, this is the game to get, and I think you really should add this to your collection as the first game, because it really shows off what the system's capable of doing, even if there are a couple things that it doesn't do quite nicely.